Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be doing something, I don't really make too many mod menu videos, but when I do, they're usually pretty fun, pretty alright to make. In this video, obviously, you can tell by the title, you can tell by the flipping front screen, I'm going to be playing Red Dead Online with Fortitude, which is one of the best menus you can possibly use on Red Dead Online. Now, obviously, I do not condone going into public servers and torturing poor players with this, but I myself have a fun time trolling friends with this menu, and honestly, you would too. I mean, I think it's a very good menu, and you should definitely use it. Let's just get straight into it. Let's go to the player options. You could do horse stuff, so if I just call in my horse now. Now, there's a lot of things for this menu, so I might not be able to go over everything in today's video, but I should be able to go over most things. Now, obviously, you have your horse options here. You can choose its outfit, you can make it invincible, gold cores, full cores, and outer cores, you can get loop, invisible, infinite stamina, which you know how that works, no ragdoll, so I can practically just, jump this thing off of the rock as we speak. This thing's not gonna ragdoll, if I were to jump it off this cliff. As you can see, there's no ragdoll. So that's actually a pretty freaking nice feature. You got max bonding, max acceleration, which that can be pretty good. As you can see, you go full speed practically instantly. And, overall, it's just, attributes, pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Anti-flee, instant whistle, so you can obviously, have it. Fire hooves. It's pretty good. Even super run, so you can get your nice little, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for just your average run-of-the-mill horse right there, Next, we got vehicle options, which you first got. Okay, you can't get off your horse. I'm obviously using a controller. Then next, you got vehicle options. So, train control, that's when you're on the train, you can do that. Hot air balloon, which allows you to freaking, I'll spawn this stuff in later to show you. And you have other stuff. Most of this stuff right here is just for horses. Invincibility, repair, invisible, all your run-of-the-mill stuff. And you got your outfit, which you can import. I don't really have any imported outfits, but, if you can also make your own. Trying custom outfit, you can make your own outfits and even change your model. Like, if I wanted to be, Dutch Vanderland, I can be Dutch Vanderland. As you can see now, I'm Dutch Vanderland, and even if you want to change Dutch's outfit, all you have to do, override variation, and you can change his outfit, So if you want to change Dutch's outfit, if you want to play as Dutch Vanderland in Red Dead Online, which, just making sure, this is proof right here, Red Dead Online. So, you can play as Dutch Vanderland, but I wouldn't recommend it since the controls get really wonky when you do it. Then you got style, you can change your thing, crazy walk style, easy rider, greenhorn, gunslinger, you can change everything. Also, I honestly don't know why you can change the way your horse whistle sounds. And you got emotes, which is, you can just get your emote going. Boo-hoo, you don't have to buy emotes anymore, you can flip them. You can do that. Pretty good stuff. Particle effects, electric hands. Actually, I think that's pretty cool. And then you got stuff like Firehead. That's also pretty cool. You can make I'd imagine you could probably make a cool Ghost Rider by doing that. Pentagram, I haven't seen this. It gives you a nice little pentagram under your feet. Cross, I don't know what that does. Oh yeah, if you want to reenact the KKK, here you go. Anti-aim, so you can block people from being able to lock on and block people from marking you with dead eye. Change model, this is the same thing that I just went over. It's just And okay, that's an example of the weird controls. But yeah, change model is just a shortcut from the outfit. Grapple hooks, you can, yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool if you ask me. You can change where you want to go. You can practically just fly with this. You know, if you want to be Dutch Vanderland flying in the air with a grapple hook, you can totally do that. Then you got pets. You can spawn yourself in a pet. Like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, a cougar has just spawned in, although it's not going to have any AI since I'm outside of the map right now. Electric Panther, Fire Fox. You know, this stuff is, it's pretty cool. You see it's following me. Next you have scenarios. These are how you sit down and such. Like, you know, you can sit down. A lot of these are kind of useless because you can't really do much with them. But, you know, you can do that. Night vision. I've actually never used this. Okay, I see what it does now. It just makes the ground a different color. And you can change the color if you want to make it more red, more green. You know, you can do that stuff too. Next you have play speech, which is also a decent, pretty cool thing. You can change your speech to be whatever. They only have a certain amount of options here for some reason. I think it'd be pretty cool if they added it from any character, but you can also, you know, change voice. You can change it to Arthur or John. Utility. This is how you can just get yourself a nice, quick beer or such, you know, you can do that. Animations, this is, you know, stuff you can do. You know, you can watch Dutch Vanderland do that. You can, I've never seen what the flip snake dance. Oh, whoa. Okay, I just fell through the map, that's nice. I don't want to click this, but I might have to click that. I'm not gonna lie. You know, you can change your animation and do random stuff. I'm kind of interested to see what this is gonna be. Okay, that's very nice. Attributes. This is where you can modify your own attributes, like you were seeing earlier with the horse. Although, I don't know, this doesn't seem to be working right now for some reason. You can give yourself infinite Deadeye, infinite stamina. Override cores, which I imagine that's just overriding the icon. For some reason this isn't working. I don't know why this isn't working. But yeah, then you got magic. This is also a pretty cool feature. You can just straight up ride the broom. You can ride a magic broom, and you can even change the riding animation. Do stuff like spinny broom. That's pretty cool. And then you got other stuff like magic spells, this is also really cool. You can hold the wand and target lock on, and then you can like, there you go, you press the other button. Oh my lord, my game is lagging. And then of course fire spells. I got invincibility on, so the cops ain't really gonna affect me. But yeah, you can do fun things like casting magic spells, flipping, doing fireflies. I don't know what that is either. Yeah, this would be also a good time to show off. Well, okay. I guess I don't have flipping. I guess I'm blind. I don't have that on. But yeah, let's skip over some things, because some things are kind of like facial mood. You know what that does. It just changes the look on your face. Invincibility and never wanted. These are your default features right here. You turn these on, you can go, you know, I can go back into Annesburg. I can go back into Annesburg, do whatever I please, and not get in trouble for it. You know, I can step into the sheriff's office, fucking shoot it up. Yeah, that does. Then you can also auto-pay your bounties, which, as you can see, I just did that and it turned it on. Paid $3. Get rid of bounty hunters and the current pursuit. You can also go invisible, which I've used this on my friends. I know that works. No ragdoll, no melee. I don't know why you'd want this, actually. Actually, does this work for you or does it work for other people? Oh yeah, it does work for you. You just straight up disable your melee, see? pressing B and it doesn't work. Then you got fast melee, which I'm imagining is just really fast and fun melee. You can beat up people in the span of 2 seconds by turning this on. Oh yeah, you could tell right there. Yeah, that's really fast melee. Stick to the super swim, super run, which I just turned on. Super jump. Yeah, you jump really high now. Stick to the ground, which means you just, you never fall off the ground. No clip, I find this one very useful. You can fly around, go through things. You can explore areas that you're not usually supposed to be in. Like interiors and such, and it's pretty cool. You also have ground no clip, which is just another version of it. It allows you to no clip through the ground instead of, anything else. Next, you have everybody ignores you, so you can practically just, basically, some of these things are very self-explanatory. Everybody ignores you. And then you have character scale. This one's fun. You can make yourself really, really, really big. You have, like, Paul Bunyan size right here. And then you have a third-person camera zoom, so you can really get this far, far away if you're into that stuff. Prevent idle kick. This is if you stand still, it will not kick you. Walk on the water. Or walk on the air, actually. That's weird. Oh yeah, I've never seen this one. This is pretty cool. You can walk on the air. Walk on water. That one's self-explanatory. Off the radar. It doesn't show you on the radar. Visually ghosted. So I don't know what this one does in particular, but it probably... I think I know what this does. You probably can't see it, but it probably makes it to where other people see you as transparent, because I've seen that happen before. Highly perceptive. I also don't know what this one does. I really don't know, but it's just here. Anti-fall. I literally can't jump with anti-fall on, so yeah, you just can't fall. Can climb steep or sleep slopes. I know what this does. It disables that annoying thing where you slide. Prevent animal attacks, prevent NPC attacks. So if I wanted to just push this guy on the ground, he's not gonna beat me up. Yeah, see, he pulled out his gun, but he can't shoot me. Respawn where you die. Balls of mystery. I've seen this. I'm pretty sure this kills anybody that it comes into contact with. Or not, it just pushes them. Become drunk. You can get drunk. Instant animal skinning, clear tasks, and suicide, which, suicide, you know what that does. And that's basically the player menu done. Network, player menu. Now, I'm not going to go into the player menu since I'm going to have to cut it out of the video, but I've just went through and freaking, leaked a whole bunch of crap. So, yeah. But basically, you can modify other players by doing that. Now, spoofing is pretty cool because you can basically change it to whatever you want. If you want it to be Rockstar Games, you can do that. And you can spoof yourself. And then once you can spoof your rank and everything, and once you turn it on, you can't see it yourself, but you basically just grow. Like, you can see the icon right there in the corner. You're spoofed. Next thing is synchronization. Now, I'm going to be honest, I genuinely don't know what this is. Coordination, I don't know what this does. Ghost session, I've never used this in my life, but I genuinely don't know what this does. So if you know what it does, comment down below, but most of you guys are probably only clicking on the video for the link anyway, so. Miscellaneous, you can log all your kills to the console, which is, I'm not going to pull it up, but the console is like the little command prompt thing you pull up when you get this menu. It's not really an actual command prompt, it's its own thing. You can turn on passive mode, which allows other Fortitude menus to, get you. Player search, you can search for players and Rockstar IDs. Voice chat, you can proximity override, which is pretty cool because you can spoof your voice as other players, and you can basically talk wherever you want. Join player, you can join the friend or Rockstar. Script host allows you to do stuff with certain Lewis scripts. Lee-Ray, I don't know what this does. I genuinely don't know. This allows you to join other modders in different sessions, and then this is what I did at the beginning of the video, but you can change your session if you want to. Next you got weapons, trigger bot. this every single time it sees a player, it'll shoot automatically. Aimbot, I've used this. It's just, you know, who doesn't know what aimbot is? You aim in and it automatically shoots at another player. Explosion gun, this one's pretty cool. Every single time you shoot your gun, which I have to get out of the menu to do, it shoots bullets, you know. So if I wanted to make this bigger, if I wanted to make this a high octane, you know, it's what it is. It's high octane. I can use repeater bullets. I can... Overall, pretty cool, pretty cool. You can do a Predator missile, which is also pretty cool. I don't think I can control it with a controller, but basically you can do a whole Predator missile, which is pretty cool. Grapple gun. I think I explained what this was. No, I didn't. This is different. Grapple gun allows you to shoot anywhere you would like to go, and it'll grapple towards your location, as you can see. Next, you have meteors, which is also really cool. You can meteor gun, and basically what this does is it launches a meteor, a genuine meteor, and it makes all the ground around it really, really on fire. Like, that is a lot of fire right there, and that's pretty cool. Large, small, you know. ICBM launcher, this is one of the coolest ones. Now I can set a waypoint, which I'm gonna do. What it will do is if you press launch, you can also launch it at a player. It'll straight up launch the rocket where you marked off, which is really cool. Next you have Protecto balls, which these are the balls that will, like, actually, if somebody touches it, they will die. That's basically all it is. Draw gun. Oh yeah, that's what that does. So, like, if you want to, yeah, you know what I'm trying to do. But yeah, you can turn on a draw gun. Clone gun. There's no NPCs around, but basically, yeah, clone any ped you aim at. Gravity gun. This one allows you to pull or push enemies away. It's honestly really cool to do. Yeah, as you can see, you just push that away. Oh, I'm pulling in all these animals. Look at that, and I can just boom. Bodyguard gun. I can recruit any pet I want. Radial menu. Now, I genuinely don't know what this does either, to be honest with you, because they don't really go over it. But, you know, it kind of works. One-shot kill, pretty self-explanatory. Weapon damage modifier, also pretty self-explanatory. Omega punch, basically just big fist damage. Fire fists, that one's pretty cool. Infinite ammo clip, which basically just means, you know, you don't have to reload. Rapid reload means faster. Auto cock, you don't need to cock things like the thing. Now you also have this, which it kind of works weird. Rapid fire is a little bit weird. So one of them, rapid fire is a bit weird. It's not exactly what you think. You can get rapid click or simulated, but simulated it's really cool, but it's only client sided, so you know other people won't see that. That's why it says simulated. Now, in story mode, if you have a menu that does that in story mode, it does work, but not here. Burst fire. That just, I don't even know. It's just a bursty gun, I guess. Poison gun, anything you shoot spawns a poison bottle. It says it right there. Calculate, I guess hash gun puts the cache of anything that you aim at in the console. Force gun. I don't know what this does, to be honest. Apply larger forces, you know, it applies larger forces to target entities, apparently. Teleport gun, this one's pretty self-explanatory as well. Anywhere you shoot, you know, that you're just gonna get teleported. You know, that deer right there, he thinks he can get away, boom, right in front of it. Really cool. Delete gun, delete anything you shoot, so wherever that deer went, you know, I could delete it if I want. Cage gun, you know, I can spawn a cage. There you go. Freeze gun, I can freeze anything. Sedate, no spread. I'm just not gonna go over these. Overall, it's, you know, some of these are really cool, like firework gun and resurrection gun. You can spawn in fireworks wherever you shoot. pretty cool. But, you know, all these aren't really needed to be needed, except for some of these. These are pretty fun. Like, homing missile, that is cool, right? You have these this is what makes this menu so good, is because you have these fun custom features that they added on their own. Fire hooves, you can basically make, you know, basically anything. Lightning gun, this is pretty fun. Basically anything. Then teleport. Teleport's pretty self-explanatory. You can teleport anywhere you like. Like, I'm in Rhodes, Lagros. And you can also use this to teleport to other places that you couldn't usually get to, like the riverboat. Can't usually get to here, but now you can. Sisica, you know. Mexico, you can teleport to Mexico. And also, a fun little bonus, you can teleport to Guarma. Pretty fun stuff. Now, I will warn you, if you teleport, you will want to go to World first, and you're going to want to enable bypass area restrictions, because as you can see, if I turn this off, it teleports me black. It teleports me back. The screen goes black, and it just teleports me back. Teleporter is pretty self-explanatory. Creator, this one is honestly really cool. Now, you can load your Lua scripts from here, but you can also do object builder, and as you can see, I have a lot. Now, a lot of things, not everything, but a lot of things are client-side, I must let you know. So, these are mostly going to be client-side, but there's a couple fun ones here. Like, I don't know, let's just load Lost Paradise, you know, load building. You can teleport to this entity right here. And as you can see, we are in the sky in a lost paradise. We're in a bed in the middle of nowhere. It's honestly really cool. It's one of the coolest features in the menu. ESP, I can't really demonstrate this, but it's just ESP. Roll assist, now this right here is the stuff you got to be careful with. I'm not going to go over some of this stuff in the video, but I will. But some of this stuff I'm not going to enable. Background loops. You can just give yourself rewards. Now, I'm not turning that on, because it literally, I mean, you can see it for yourself right there. It literally says, accept risk. I mean, you know that's probably the riskiest thing in the menu. I'm not doing that, right? And you got roll boosters. It's a low risk. It's still a risk, but it's a low risk. You can bounty hunter, moonshiner, naturalist, or trader. You can just boost your production and stuff like that. Instant recovery is also a very high risk, but you can give yourself XP. And, you know, weapons, ammunition. You can prevent now these are the ones right here that you could just turn on. It doesn't do anything. Treasure spawner. Now, I've actually done this before. This is a very low risk unless you spawn in gold bars. But as you can see, I can spawn in a $7 bill and give me some money. As you can see. You can also get, like, full collections, I'm pretty sure. If you do a treasure spawner and go to, like, arrowheads, yeah, like, arrowhead set, you can just spawn that in. And, you know, this is pretty cool stuff. Obviously, gold bars is going to be the highest risk, but if you don't do it that often, and you just do it, like, I don't know, maybe a couple times a week, you could probably get away with it. Infinite items, turn that on. I'm not going to keep it on, but yeah, it allows you to use infinite items. And finally, corresponding XP, you can decrease the time. Sentry, Sentry is basically, it blocks other mods. It's basically what it does. I mean, crash protection, you can see, it'll notify you and neutralize anything. It'll neutralize anything that it deems to be a mod. So it'll block voice spoofing and basically anything that it deems to be a mod. That is probably good because every menu needs protection. Settings, these are the menu settings. You can customize the interface, hotkeys, Fortitude logo, notifications. You can basically, you know, you can do any of this stuff right here. It's pretty cool. Spawner, this is pretty cool as well. You could spawn in guards, which is basically just these are the guard settings, but you can spawn in things like, this is another way to spawn in treasure. You can also do plants, which plants are very nice. You can, as you can see, you can just pick up a whole bunch of that. You can pick up a whole bunch of this cut plant right here that I might make a video on in the future. And then you have vehicles. You can spawn in a mission train, buggy. You know, as you can see, you spawn in a whole bunch of these things. Boom. Ghost train, you spawn in all this stuff. Spawn a random vehicle. You know, obviously, very nice stuff. NPCs are the most fun. You can spawn in cutscene stuff. Like, if you want to spawn in Sean from the story, wherever he may spawn, he will be here. It works. And then you could spawn him as a guard, which basically allows them to be your guard. You know, if I were to spawn this, and then go to females, animal attack females, as you can see, okay, they're spawning in dead. That's why that's happening. You can do, spawn settings. This is what it is, spawning in dead. A really good way to make money, even better than using recovery, is just spawning in birds dead and going to the Carolina parakeet and just spawning it in and selling it. They won't care. Next, you have special mounts, which is you can spawn in custom horses, but this one's probably one of the most fun things in the menu. You can spawn in UFOs. You can drive these UFOs. So that's where we were. But you can drive UFOs in Red Dead Redemption, which is one of the coolest features. Bomber, you can just bomb things. You can arm the machine gun and just go ham. Yeah, it's one of the coolest things. And you know, they're each different in their own way. You know, this is a UFO. But I could do the high wind, which is a ship. I could do Bruce the Shark, which is, again, another airplane that you can use. And then you have other stuff. But yeah, it's basically the gist of the spawner. Next you have world. This is where you can modify the world options. You can track nearby peds. You can give them ESP, as you can see. I can turn this on. You know, I don't know why it's not working, but you can do that. Minigame, Zombie Apocalypse. You can literally enable this game. I've never actually used this before, I'm gonna be honest. Oh shoot, yeah, look at that. You can fight zombies in Red Dead Online. That's actually pretty cool. It's even got its little own custom mini board up there. Hey, you know, this is actually really cool. Hold on, this is actually really cool for a mod menu feature. I've never seen this. But no, basically you can do stuff like that. Really cool. Spawn in zombies. Free camera, you can just, you know, do that. It's pretty cool. Play music, so, you know, you can hear that. Clear area allows you to clear areas of any peds. Clear nearby particles. This, like I was showing off earlier, allows you to go into any area without it going to a black screen. Bypass guard zones, which also, this is like the story mode version of what you would see, but also it allows you to go into like places like Fort Wallace and not be harmed. Camp safe zones, so you can go into other people's camps and do whatever you please. Normal safe zones. I honestly don't know what normal safe zones are, but it's definitely something. You can disable water physics, do nearby doors. You can populate now, which I think just populates the area. And then, of course, weather. Now, I'm actually not sure if this is a client-side or a server-side thing. But I don't know, but you can change the weather. And then, of course, you could search for features. But, I mean, other than that, I've basically went over the whole menu. It's a pretty good menu, but I'm just going to cut to some gameplay footage of me messing around with it. And then I'm going to end the video. So, yeah. Let me just, like, play some music in the background and cut to some footage of me messing around.
devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang bang, got my hand, bang, got my hand.
But no, guys, that was my little clip. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell for post notifications. If you want to see me do more mod menu videos in the future, make sure to just type down below, and I'll definitely do so, because I get no suggestions. So any suggestion that I get, I'm probably going to follow. But anyways, I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.